the first thing I want to do to start my project is start with a blank piece of paper or a new file. So I'm going to go up to my File menu. I'm going to click New. It's going to ask me to name it. I'm just going to name mine Mrs. Powell Project. The only other thing on this screen I want to do is change the orientation. For this project, landscape is going to be a better mode for us to see our name in. So I'm going to hit OK, and here's my blank paper. The other thing I want to turn on is from the View menu, I want to hit Show Grid. This grid is just a background. It wouldn't show up if I was printing or saving this file. It's really just a tool to help me, you know, kind of just see my lines and sizes and things. So to add our name to our project, we're not going to be using the Type tool, which would let us choose a font. We're going to be using this pen tool here, which is kind of like letting us create our own font. So we're going to click the pen tool. I'm going to start with the M in Mrs. and I'll just kind of go around and click what would be each corner of that M. Notice that shading happening while I am clicking. That's just filling in. And it doesn't matter if you get something off, we're going to be able to easily edit and fix this later. So just kind of the general shape you need. Notice how this was filling in white. This right here is why that's filling in white. If yours is a fill with this red cross through it, yours might not be filling in, or it might be filling in a color. When I click on that, that's how I'll be able to change color later. For right now, I just want to get all my letters done, and then I will worry about color and editing. So my R, similarly, I'm going to go around and click in each corner. Now my R should be curved a little bit, but I'm going to show you how we're going to do that. We're going to go back to add the curves later. So for right now, I'm just going to kind of click and make it a boxy like R, and same with your S. Without curves, it's going to kind of look like a really boxy S, and we'll add those curves later. Okay, so now that we have this, let's go back and kind of fix some of those curves before we move on. I'm going to need to get my arrow to select. I don't want to stay on this pen tool or I'll keep drawing lines. So over here, this black pen tool is going to select an entire object. For this purposes, we want to just be looking at one point at a time though. So I'm going to grab this white arrow, and to start with, I want to click on this point right here because I want it rounded. Now you're going to watch when I click on this menu up here is going to change. That menu changes based on what is selected and what tools are available for that. So when I hit point, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to say convert from a straight here, convert that to a smoother. I'm going to go ahead and convert this one as well, and it's just going to kind of smooth out that R. Now I can change how that curves look by just pulling around the edges of these handles. Right now I kind of like that R just how it is. I'm going to do the same thing for my S. Now to select a whole bunch of things at once, I can either drag around them and now each of those points will be selected, or I can click, hold shift, click another, I'm holding shift and keep clicking. So say I wanted just those, I can make all those curved. I'm going to leave the ends kind of straight. I kind of like that. Now to add the kind of hole or circle in my R, I'm going to go ahead and grab my pen tool again. And I'm going to, again, just add it like a pointy one. Go grab that arrow, and I'm going to say I want this one to be curved. The other ones I'll keep kind of straight. Now this is also going to stay filled in white, and if I want this to actually be a hole though, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select. Now I want to be selecting that whole object. I want to select this inside path. I'm going to hold shift key so that I can select the outside path, and now both of them are selected. And I'm going to go up to this menu up here, and I'm going to click on the object menu. And I'm going to go down to compound path. And I'm going to make. And notice you can see the hole in my R now. So that's the start with just outlining. Once you're finished with all your outlining, again, click that white arrow so that you can get a corner. And now we can kind of mess around with how we want this to look. We want to pull those kind of so they're both a little angled. And kind of decide how I want. Can make the R a little bit crazier. See how I can overlap that there. Can pull this S. Kind of how I want it to look. And kind of mess around with your letters until you kind of like how they're laid out. And then you'll move on to the next video on color.